The scene opens in a grand theater, the stage bathed in soft golden light. The audience is a mixture of anticipation and quiet murmurs. Judges sit poised, pens ready, but none of them know that this moment will redefine everything they thought they knew about talent, emotion, and human connection. Behind the curtain, a young violinist takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of the world pressing gently on small shoulders. This is not just a performance. This is a declaration of hope, of dreams, and of heart. Born in a small coastal town in the Philippines, our violinist grew up surrounded by the sounds of nature and the rhythms of daily life, the gentle lapping of waves, the calls of street vendors, the laughter of siblings. Music was never a choice, it was a lifeline. At 5 years old, hands too small to reach the strings fully, the child picked up a second-hand violin with peeling varnish and began to draw melodies from it as if guided by something beyond comprehension. Every note told a story, of longing, of love, of a world larger than the town itself. But talent alone does not shape a story. It was struggle, perseverance, and the sheer will to rise above circumstances that molded this young artist. There were mornings of empty stomachs, afternoons of endless practice under the harsh tropical sun, evenings spent listening to recordings of legendary violinists, trying to mimic every flourish, every subtle shift of emotion. Each small achievement was a victory, each setback a lesson. And through it all, the violin became more than an instrument. It became a voice, a companion, a bridge between dreams and reality. Now, after years of quiet dedication, the opportunity had arrived. The audition stage of a world-renowned talent show. The young violinist, clad simply yet elegantly, steps into the spotlight. The audience's chatter fades into silence, the hum of anticipation vibrating through the air. The judges glance up, their faces a mixture of curiosity and professional scrutiny. Simon Cowell leans back in his chair, arms crossed, already assessing with that practiced eye, unaware of the storm of emotion about to hit him. The first note resonates, soft, tentative, almost hesitant, but as the bow moves across the strings, something shifts. The melody of "Nearer My God to Thee" begins, each note imbued with a clarity and depth that seems impossible for someone so young. The audience sits rapt, captivated by the purity of sound. There is no pretense, no showmanship, only raw, unfiltered emotion flowing from the violin into the hearts of everyone present. Simon Cowell's brow furrows, a hint of surprise flickering across his face. This is different. He leans forward slightly, the signature mask of judgment replaced by something more vulnerable, recognition, awe, and perhaps the faintest stirrings of tears. The performance swells, crescendos, and then softens, moving like the tide, each note pulling the audience along an invisible journey. The violinist closes their eyes, completely lost in the music, each movement of the bow a reflection of years of dreams, sacrifices, and unwavering passion. By the time the final note hangs in the air, a delicate whisper of sound, the theater is silent. The moment is almost sacred. For a heartbeat, nobody breathes. And then the applause begins, hesitant at first, then overwhelming, a wave of admiration crashing through the room. Simon Cowell, visibly moved, wipes his eyes, unable to contain the emotion that this simple, heartfelt performance has stirred within him. Tears glisten as he whispers, almost to himself, words that echo through the hearts of viewers everywhere, "That was beyond words." The camera pans across the audience. Faces glisten with tears, some clutch each other in quiet astonishment. An elderly woman whispers to her neighbor, her voice trembling, "I haven't felt anything like this in years." A child wipes his eyes with the sleeve of his shirt, looking up at his parents as if to ask, "Did you hear that?" Every single person is caught in the spell, and for a few minutes, the world outside ceases to exist. Simon Cowell, however, is the most compelling sight of all. Usually the epitome of composure, he sits frozen, shoulders tense, eyes fixed on the violinist. His hand trembles slightly as he presses it to his lips. Something in the performance has pierced through his layers of judgment, cutting straight to emotion he rarely allows himself to show. He leans forward, a hand instinctively reaching to hide the tears threatening to fall. The other judges glance at him in surprise, unsure whether to applaud, speak, or simply sit in awe alongside the audience. The camera cuts to a close-up of the violinist's hands, nimble and precise. Every finger movement is poetry in motion. The bow dances across the strings with a fluidity that seems impossible. But beyond technique, it is the intention behind each note that moves everyone present. There is no performance for applause. There is no desire for fame. There is only a story being told, and the story is one of hope, perseverance, and love, a story that transcends language, culture, and age. As the final note lingers, hanging in the theater like a suspended breath, the violinist opens their eyes. They glance at the judges, then at the audience, and a small, shy smile spreads across their face. It is not pride, it is relief. It is the satisfaction of having shared something deeply personal, something sacred, and having been understood. The first judge rises, a seasoned musician whose career spans decades. Tears stream down her face as she whispers, "I have never heard anything like that." Never. Another judge joins in, voice choked with emotion, This is why we do what we do. To witness moments like this. And then Simon Cowell speaks, his voice soft but unshakable. "I've seen thousands of performances, and I've judged them all. I've been harsh, critical, even dismissive. But what I just witnessed, it isn't talent. It's a gift. It's something that comes from the heart. And it's rare. So rare, I don't think words can describe it. Thank you, for sharing that with all of us." The audience erupts again, a thunderous ovation that seems to shake the walls. Cameras flash, phones lift, people cheer, some crying openly, others silently holding back tears, hearts full of gratitude for having witnessed something extraordinary. But amidst the chaos, the young violinist stands quietly, a gentle smile on their face, a bow of humility, soaking in the love and acknowledgement without seeking it. Later, behind the scenes, Simon Cowell approaches the violinist. He kneels slightly to meet the young musician's gaze. "Do you know what you just did?" he asks quietly. "You reminded the world why music matters. You reminded me why I fell in love with it in the first place. You have a rare gift. And one day, the whole world will know your name." The violinist, usually reserved, manages a soft nod, words unnecessary in that sacred moment. For the first time, Simon sees the full story, the years of struggle, the hours of practice, the sacrifices, the relentless pursuit of something greater than oneself. And he understands that this is more than talent. This is heart. This is soul. In the days that follow, the performance goes viral. Clips of the violinist playing, "Nearer My God to Thee," circulate across social media. Millions watch, millions cry, millions are inspired. Commenters speak of hope, of dreams, of the pure emotional power of music. And yet, for the young musician, nothing has changed except the knowledge that the message has reached far beyond a small theater in a talent show. Parents write messages of gratitude, telling the violinist that their child now dares to dream. Teachers speak of students motivated to pick up instruments, to practice, to believe. Strangers reach out from across continents, moved by a performance that transcended distance, language, and circumstance. Every note, every vibration, every moment of silence has rippled outward, touching lives in ways no one could have predicted.